They say some buildings remember. Not the way we do. Not in photographs or voices playing back in an empty room. They remember in stains that keep returning, no matter how many times you paint over them. In air that sits heavy and wrong in a room that should be empty. On the edge of Shivamogga, a city in the heart of Karnataka, there is a road that curves away from the main highway and vanishes into areca nut plantations. The trees grow close together there, close enough to block the sky. Follow that road far enough and you'll find it. Sri Mallikarjun Engineering Hostel. 3 floors of faded colonial brick, built in the 1940s, converted to a student dormitory in the 1980s. The administration calls it heritage infrastructure. The students call it something else. They call it the Drowning Building. Nobody explains the name. It's one of those things you're expected to figure out on your own. Most students figure it out by their second week. Some figure it out faster. The ones assigned to room 217, they figure it out the first night. 10 years ago, a student named Suresh Venkataramaya lived in room 217, final year civil engineering. Quiet, brilliant, the kind of student everyone assumed would be fine. Then, in October of his final year, he failed his advanced structures exam. He failed, not because he didn't know the answers, but because he couldn't stop writing something else. 14 pages of his exam booklet were filled, not with engineering formulas, but with a single phrase, repeated over and over. Nana rumu idu. In Kannada, this is my room. His roommate, a student named Devraj, told investigators that Suresh had stopped sleeping, that he would sit at his desk all night, staring at the cupboard in the corner, that he'd stopped responding when spoken to, that sometimes Devraj would wake to find Suresh gone, bed empty, door locked from the inside. He would return before morning, always soaking wet, always silent. On November 4th, Suresh disappeared. They found him 3 days later, in the old well behind the hostel building. Here is where the story should make sense, and doesn't. The well had been permanently sealed in 1987. Concrete cap, fully intact. No cracks, no openings, no way in or out. The water level was 3 meters below the sealed surface. Suresh's body was submerged. His lungs were full of water, and his fingernails, all 10 of them, had been torn off. The forensic report noted, sustained trauma consistent with clawing against a hard surface. He had clawed through stone, from the inside. The official report said suicide. Case closed. 6 days. Room 217 was repainted and reassigned the following semester. Nobody asked Devraj what he saw. He transferred universities and was never heard from again. His name does not appear anywhere in the university's official records. Arjun Sharma arrived at Sri Mallikarjun Hostel on a Tuesday in June, 18 years old. First year computer science, from a small town called Sagara, 2 hours north. He'd spent his whole life working toward one moment, the moment he left home and started becoming someone. He had no idea what the other students already knew about this building. Nobody told him. The warden was a gray-haired man named Mr. Heber, the efficient, the kind of person who has seen too much and processed none of it. He slid the room assignment across the desk without looking up. Room 217, 3rd floor, east wing. Arjun reached for the key. The warden held it a moment longer than necessary, and then, without expression, without explanation, he said, "If you hear knocking after midnight, don't open the door." Before Arjun could ask what that meant, the warden was already on to the next student. That first night, Arjun lay in the dark and told himself it was just an old building settling. Pipes, wind, normal sounds. He checked his phone, 1:48 a.m. He closed his eyes. At exactly 2:17 a.m.,